Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today, I'm going to be interviewing somebody who's very special to my heart. Her name is Divya Rajani, and she's one of the most amazing young women of today. I've known her since she was, I think, 3 years old or 4 years old. And from the day I met Divya, I fell in love with this cute, wonderful princess. I really feel that she's been like a princess to me in my life. And every time I see her, I feel so happy. So I hope she brings some of that happiness into your lives today with the wonderful things that she says, because I'm sure she will. Hi, Divya.
Hi, Nandinii auntie. Thank you so much for thinking of me and having me here.
Of course, I had
Very
to.
kind words.
I had to. As I said, you're an amazing child and I love you very much. And I had to find out what you're doing and what you've been doing this past, I think, 37 days, um, and how you've been spending your time. So, yes, please start.
Okay. So I've been lucky in the sense that I've been keeping really busy with my online teaching because I teach at a school and in a first grade classroom. So I've been really busy. We closed school, like schools all over Bombay closed around mid March, and immediately after that we started online teaching. So thankfully for me, I've not had too much time to despair over things. Actually, I have been keeping busy, and I'm actually looking at I've enjoyed this time because you're spending more time with family and you're just spending more time at home and really doing things that are meaningful, which we don't have time to do otherwise, like
Yes,
helping around the house and those little things.
yes,
So my days have been quite packed.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
And Divya, tell me something. What does family mean to you?
So family for me necessarily, um, I think it's a unit of people, and sometimes it includes people who are not even blood related to you by blood, but
Yes,
who get you, who vibe with you, who are there for you when you need them, at your worst times, or when you're down and out. And I think for me, my family is of course my family, and very very dear friends, my old friends who I've known ever since. And I think we're just there for one another. And now a lot of my friends are married and live away, and if I think anything happens to their parents here, and we're always there for one another. So I
that's
think that's
wonderful.
what constitutes family for me.
And what does the word sharing and caring mean to you?
Again, sharing and caring. Now, my view of sharing, what I, try and incorporate in my life is giving something that is dear to you, even if you need it, but giving it to someone who may need it
Yes,
more than you. Because I really feel that the more you give, the more you receive. So I really feel sharing should be, not just parting with what you can afford to give away, but even that, which may be dear to you, but if you see someone, the
yes,
next person, you're like, okay, I'm going to give my share, you know, so that
yes,
this person is comfortable.
yes.
And caring, again, it's a very positive emotion. We talk a lot about sharing and caring, even with with my kids in class. Or caring, again, it's a positive emotion where you want to see the well-being of the next person.
I love that,
Yeah,
where you want to see the well being of the next person. So, not necessarily only being self absorbed and thinking of yourself, putting the other
exactly,
before you. So,
exactly,
would you say that's a very important part of sharing and caring, to put the other
totally.
before you?
Totally. But again, I feel like my take on sharing and caring would be very different from maybe another adult's view, or
Yes,
definitely a child's view, because for them, I think you can only give as much as you have kind of internalized. I don't know how to
yes,
say it. I don't know if I'm saying it
yes,
well, but
yes,
so a child will still kind of maybe operate from his or her limited, what we call
yes,
limited. I don't want to use the word limited, but his or her point of view. Now, some children, of course, may share and care even more. Some
yes.
children a little less. So it's very, very situational.
Absolutely, it's very situated. That's very well said. And tell me what you, for Divya, what what is hope? What is hope
Hope.
for you?
Okay. So, in fact, I liked the the name that you've given to these series of interviews, Cope with Hope, because I think cope in itself is a very neutral word. It's could even be like a negative connotation, because it's like you're trying to get by, however.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
But when you put hope again is like, okay, things are very neutral or maybe could get like negative or downhill, but hope is again something positive, something that gives you an insight that even if it's not now, it's gonna happen in the near future, something
yes,
positive and something good. So
yes,
that's hope. Again, it's a positive emotion.
yes. Hope is positive. I read a wonderful thing. Against all odds and beyond
Hmm.
logic, there is hope. Hope doesn't make things
True.
easy, but it does make things possible. I think
Hmm.
at this point of
I
time, seeing
agree.
all the news around us and, with
Hmm.
COVID-19 and also with two legends from my industry recently passing away, this is a time
Yeah.
when the fragility of life is like emphasized and magnified. And I think it's important to take on board, what are you going to become? Who are you going to be? What is your takeaway from this experience? So what do you think for you, Divya? What is the takeaway from this experience for you? What are you going to go forward with from this, do you think?
Okay. So I think I'm an eternal optimist. I try and always look on the bright side of things. And
Yes,
I actually feel as much as like damage and destruction this virus has caused, and continues to cause, and, the upheavals in people's lives, I really think that it's come for a reason. It's come for us to actually think about what we have been doing to the world, to wildlife,
yes,
to the state of the earth, the natural habitats of animals. And so I'm kind of thinking a little more from a broader perspective as to why this has happened. And now I just feel if we humans are so smart and we have, we're more intelligent than animals, I think we need to use the situation going forward. And that's what I've decided, to do. Now, I think mindfully, I would maybe now shop, a little more mindfully, try to simplify my life,
yes,
you know,
yes,
um, less wastage. So in terms of even consumption of any form, and really trying to maintain, this, because I think this whole period has been good for the earth, for our city. You're seeing like animals come out in the open, anywhere, like you're seeing dolphins in the sea, you're seeing like peacocks walking around, parts of
yes.
Mumbai. We see these lovely pictures. So I really think, um it should be a wake up call, and I'm going to treat it as one, and really try and, you know move forward mindfully now in my life, with whatever I do, with my actions and everything.
Okay, so tell me three things which you are
Hmm.
going to definitely take on board mindfully. Three things which you're going to definitely take on board
So,
mindfully.
I have decided now. Number one, I think with the economies everywhere, and in India, I think they're going
Yes,
to take a huge hit, or they're already, going through a lot.
yes,
So I think I'm going to mindfully support, you know Indian made things, and, or just local brands, local businesses,
yes.
organic again. But again, I haven't really thought much into that, because I don't want it to impact the larger scale farmers
Yes.
also. So, and then in terms of, giving, I want to really start now giving more of, what I don't need, or, like especially, children in need and things like that. I want to give.
Okay.
And I think also thoughtfulness with words, with one's words, because I think this
Wow.
has really shown us how fragile we are. We're very
Yes.
fragile. If
Yes.
something unseen
Yes.
and, uh, something invisible, it has caused so much havoc.
Okay, that's
I think
wonderful.
it's brought humankind to its knees, and I think we really need
Yes,
to kind of be mindful and really loving, like spread love all around, because we've
that's
seen
lovely.
what destruction this is
Yes. So
doing to all
one
of
is
us.
you're going to use more Indian products, and the larger you're going to look at the
Yeah,
larger picture, and even like supporting the
exactly.
farmers in buying those products. Secondly, you're
Yeah,
going to see what is the need. You're going to help children in need because that's very important. And thirdly, you're going to mindfully use your words because this is the time to really spread love and kindness and be mindful in your thought, word, and deed.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful, Divya. That's really wonderful
Thank
because this is very doable. What you're suggesting is like super doable for everybody.
Exactly.
It's lovely.
Exactly.
It's very lovely. Okay, now I know that you are a beautiful writer and you write the most amazing poems. Is there anything that you have that you can read to us right now?
Actually, no. No, but actually, so I don't have a poem read offhand, but I just want to share what the children of my class did. They made, there's a very famous poem that's trending. I think it was first said that it was written in, I think, by Helen O'Meary. Actually, I don't have access to it
Can you
now,
get it?
but
Can you get it?
so it's
Divya, can you
no,
get it?
I can't. I
Okay.
can't because was having a problem with my phone. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
So my children made this really beautiful video. My children of my class, I mean, and they were enacting things that they've been doing around the house. So like maybe folding clothes or putting clothes in the washing machine or like sweeping or just helping massage their mom's head. Doing little
Oh,
things around the house. They're small. They're like 6.5.
yes.
And so they were each saying words of the poem and doing things around the house. And then at the end there was like the mums of my class made this, and at the end there was like a screenshot with all of them, and thank you to our prime minister, thank you to our doctors, thank you to our teachers, and I just thought it was really, really lovely of them. I think
Wow.
they're also learning a lot.
So, do you know the words of this poem?
No,
Okay, just
I
one
think it was,
second.
and the people, yeah,
So, Divya, would you read the poem for us?
yes.
Yeah.
So this poem, I think there was a little confusion in terms of its origin. Someone said, well, I got messages earlier saying that it was written during the Spanish flu pandemic,
Yeah.
or even before in the late 1800s. Um, but I think it's a relatively new poem written actually by a teacher, and her name is Kitty O'Meara, and I think it's called "And the People Stayed Home," and it goes like this: And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed.
That's beautiful. But, Divya, I need to see your full face, darling. Can you
Oh,
just
oh, oh.
change your thing and we'll read it again?
Is it now? Is it okay now?
Little higher. You're too low. I can only see this much. Yes. Don't go lower
Okay.
than that.
You want me to this? Is
I
it
want
okay?
you to, I want you to introduce this poem again and read the whole. Tell me about the children. Just,
Okay, just give me just 1 second.
yeah,
I'll just,
yeah. But don't go lower than this. It's okay if we're
okay,
both in blue.
okay.
Yeah.
So this poem, which I really like, and it's been circulating during this time. Initially, I got a message saying that it was written like 200 years ago, maybe in the late 1800s, um, by someone called Kitty O'Meara. But I think it's a relatively new poem. It's been recent poem. It's been written by, I think, a school teacher actually, and it goes like this. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and was still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently. And the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal.
Wow.
And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we
So
need to
this
do.
was enacted by my children and also recited by them. And I think it's pretty deep. The words are really impactful.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's really a time for healing, healing the earth, healing
True.
ourselves, you know,
True.
and putting the best version of ourselves out there when this ends.
Exactly. That's what it said in the poem. And the people met their shadows because we are, very often just kind of obliterate our true selves and what we really are.
Yes,
And times like this, we're forced to, come face to face and deal with
yeah,
it and, confront it, actually. That's a good word.
yes.
So,
To
yeah.
confront it because we always want to
Hmm.
hide from that shadow self.
Exactly.
This is the time to confront that shadow self. Just
Yeah.
very, very beautiful. How wonderful. What a
Yeah.
gift this is.
It is. It is.
So, if you would think of three gifts that you've received at this time, tell me.
I think just being, I think just the fact that we are alive and we are healthy and, we have food to eat, we have a roof under which, to seek shelter. We have the love of our family, friends. I mean, I have the love of my students, and have my work that keeps me going. I don't know, maybe that's more than three, but I think it's all one blur. But I think it's just one whole blur of gratitude for me. Reasons to be
Wow,
grateful.
that's beautiful, Divya. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anything else you'd like to put out there that you feel has really helped you at this time and that you'd like to share with everybody?
So I think me time is very important. Just to take some time off. For some people it may be even like 5 minutes or 15 minutes or even 1 hour if you're lucky. Just me time, just to kind of reflect and get your balance. I know with a lot of mums out there, they are probably just busy with their children and maybe school work and and
Yeah.
housework and everything. But I think this me time is really necessary because whatever it is, I think it's not a natural way that we're living, like cooped up in our houses and all in
Yes.
quarantine.
Yeah.
Kids can't go down to play, and so there's a lot of that pent up energy, I know, with kids. But I think that me time, just to kind of get your balance every day,
Yes.
is really important.
Yes. That is. Me time to get your balance every day is very important. And I don't think just at this time, at any time.
At any time. But I think circumstances are a little unusual and
Yeah.
are exceptional
Yes.
at this time, because because it's a prolonged period of quarantine that we've been going through, lockdown that we've been
Yes.
going through.
Yes.
So that's why I think and another thing I think which is very important is that all of us, I think, not only kids, if kids kind of are restless, we're like, oh, the child is getting restless. But I think a lot of us have to realize that all adults experience feelings of restlessness
Yes,
or just despondency and all of that. And it's normal. I think it's a
yes.
very normal process. And we have to allow ourselves to feel it, because you can't be like on a high the whole day,
No, you
you
can't.
know.
No.
So I think we need to deal with the ebbs and,
Yes. It's very
of
important to
everything.
acknowledge where you're at. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like you're down, you may be sad. And with that, because this is such a, like a sort of heated up time, you're packed at
Hmm.
home, you don't really have any time to go out. Because of that, you acknowledge it, and then you find some time to be able to turn it around to what you're grateful for, and what can make you happy. But you can't pretend it's not there, because then that's just
Exactly.
bottling it up into a can, which will definitely blow up.
Totally.
Is
Totally.
happening in a lot of places. There's a lot of
Yeah.
like uh, frustration going around. So the thing is really to find that balance. And as you've
Yeah.
said very
I
well,
agree.
Divya, it's important to get that me time and to acknowledge what you're going through to yourself. Because if
Yeah.
you don't, then you're just on, like you're on a roller coaster of doing, and no time
Yeah.
of being able to absorb what's happening.
Exactly.
Beautiful, like really beautiful.
Yeah.
Any other last minute advice for the children, for parents, anything?
Well, I think just a few words, but I think they're very, very eternal.
Yeah,
This too shall pass. This too shall pass. It's not gonna be, a permanent, you know, problem in our lives. We just have to be patient. We just have to make the most of the moment. I know it's challenging, but this is where we have to really, really,
yeah.
use our faith and hope. We have to cope with hope, not just cope. It always makes the journey more
Yeah,
worth
you were
it.
telling me about the lovely poem that your children did for you. Would you like to
Yes,
read it out for us?
yes. So there's a very famous, a popular poem actually that's trending the internet now currently. It's by T.O. Miura. I think I've got the pronunciation correct, I hope. And it goes like this. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and was still. And listening more deeply, some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows. And the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed.
Oh, this is
So this is the
lovely.
poem that, yeah. So my, every class like did a little thing, you know, on this topic on coronavirus, and so this is what my class did. So they recited the poem. The 30 of them in class. They each said lines of the poem, and they were enacting things that they actually helped their parents with at home. And yeah, it was really nice.
That's so beautiful. Any last words of wisdom that you'd like to give to our audience before we sign off?
So I think the most simple words are, this too shall pass.
Yes,
Right now, we're all going through, tough times, difficult times, and, we would have never imagined we would be, in this state brought to our knees by this virus um, ever. But I think, we need to just keep calm. We need to just go with the flow. Look at the positive side of things. Like you said, cope. It's not just cope, but you should cope with hope and positivity, because a little positivity takes you a long way.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. So, thank you very much for coming on to my show. And I'm sure the audience is going to love all your lovely insights. I certainly have.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I think it's a lovely thing you're doing, just helping, some people. For some people, it would be inspirational, listening to what other people are, how they're thinking and how they're being. And I think it's much needed in a time. Your kind words. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome.